I pulled over so I can give this my full attention. I have a lot on my mind at the moment, and I thought I'd just get it out onto video. But I'd like to hear your impressions of where I am, what I'm thinking, and how you're doing. Because, I don't usually do the month ahead, but for some reason I've been very interested in July. And I've been looking around, listening to what other people are saying, but I've been feeling into it myself. I have to say, last June was very interesting. I spent 3 weeks in Sardinia, as many of you know, and the healing session that I did there was about love, opening to love, letting more love in, softening your heart, being able to be in the world in an open-hearted way. Now, I made a list of all the months back in January, and I said, I'm going to do this in June, this in July, this in August, and I did the whole year ahead of all the themes, and I'm like, love, love, why love? And then everybody in June started talking about love and how we need more love, we need to be love. So I obviously was in tune with the energies when I made that list. But what happened in that session was profound. We pulled ourselves into our bodies and into the heart. Now, your mind is really like trying to look after you, but your mind is also connected into all of your old patterns. And your gut is being influenced by what you're eating and by the collective and by the level of power that you hold in your body. But when you're in your heart, it's a very different world. And what happened in that session was a lot of people unified around their heart so they could start to express and open the heart. But then that can kick in a grieving process, right? Because the heart is sore, and how can I go through the world living from my heart when there's so much anger out there and there's so much pain? But what I've found is that my levels, for me, because when I facilitate a session, I also receive the healing as well. My levels of compassion for other people have really increased greatly. And yes, I am still angry at stuff, but I'm noticing it more and saying, I don't want to do this anymore. So now we're in July, and I'm finding that being particularly compassionate and kind towards myself is really helping me be around other people, and particularly people who irritate me or annoy me or just don't want to listen. And there's plenty of those right now. And I'm finding that as the heart energies are flowing through me, I have less and less desire to fight my corner, because I don't need to fight. It just is. And I can let go of my need for other people to be on my side. I'm doing my quotes side, because I'm comfortable here where I am with what I believe and what I know. And that's created a deeper inner stillness within me that I can now go do research on things that matter to me. Now, it's not that what is going on in the current events don't matter, but it's giving me a breathing space. You know, sure, I still go on Twitter, I'm going on Facebook, but I'm being much more selective about when I speak and who I look at. Started unfollowing people. I went onto Facebook yesterday and said I'm not going to post my healing events up here anymore, because what's the point? I just didn't feel that that's where I can post about them, you know? So shifting patterns, shifting inner consciousness trajectories when more love comes in, it's so different. It's really nice. So what I'm also seeing is that we're being tested to the max, right? So all of these threats are coming in. And the reason why I feel they're coming in is because I'm not the only one who's feeling this. I'm not the only one who's letting in more love. I'm not the only one who's beginning to make love a foundation, connecting God into love and the love into God, then who is the ruler of me? Not the government, not the rules and regulations. Sure, I have to live in the world. That's like the ego, right? You don't put your hand in your fire. You don't drive 90 kilometers an hour in a 40-kilometer zone. But I have a deeper sense of stillness knowing my kids are okay. I had all my conversations with them. I know where they are. Other people need to do that with their kids. It's not my job. I'm here to support the people I can support. And I'm more compassionate for people who come to me with things that would have irritated me, let's say 6 months ago, or even 3 months ago. So it feels to me like a maturing and a deepening of a process that we've been going through. And again, I see an image of the sea, and the wave crashes on the shore, and it brings a whole bunch of people with it. And the next wave crashes on the shore and brings more, and the next one, and the next one. And so there are waves and waves of people coming into this deepening and this maturing, but there are also waves and waves of people way back in the line of the process of healing, coming into the realization that what they believed isn't true, that the world isn't what we think it is, that, fundamental deep core beliefs are being scraped clean so we can see, well, actually, I don't know if that is the case. Right down to silly things like, is the earth flat, round, spherical, toroidal field? I think it's a silly thing, because how does that impact on your day today? And this is what we need to look at. So what impacts on your day today the most? This is July, okay? So you say, okay, think about it as I'm saying this. What exactly impacts you, your day today, the most? Now, I have an answer for you. I don't even know who you are, what you're doing, but I'm going to tell you straight out, the thing that impacts you the most is how you feel and what you think about yourself. What's those repeating thoughts going around and around? I'm not good enough. It's my fault. I'm a failure. I'm stupid. Time to get rid of all of that. Bring yourself into your heart, because when you're in your heart, you look at yourself and you go, I'm doing okay. I'm actually doing okay. And I think all of these things about myself, but ultimately, I know I'm not those things. Because I want you to remember those waves crashing on the shore. There's a whole new wave, 5 or 6 new waves of new people coming in, and they're eviscerating all of this pain, and it's out in the ether, and you're picking it up and turning it into those thought forms that you use to repeatedly attack yourself. If you stop doing that, if you are at peace at that level of stillness, if you can make love part of your way of being, and it doesn't have to be I love you and you and you, it could be I have more compassion for myself, then that smooths everything out. Then people can have hissy fit and temper tantrum right in front of you, and you just give them the space. You take a step back and you say, okay, when you're finished, we can talk. Or, I don't need to even talk to you when you're finished. I'm just not interested. And that's okay. You don't need to be interested in people who think they need you to be interested in them. I think you know what I mean. So here's something I'm working on at the moment that might help. Your assumptions of a person, your assumptions of a thing, you project them onto that person or onto that thing, and then you make it that. So I'm leaving a gap here for you to think. You make it that. So if your assumption is this person is an idiot, you take that assumption and you put that spark of energy onto that person, and they become an idiot because you've decided that that's what they are. Your assumption of yourself is I'm a failure because that's all you listen to. You're projecting onto yourself now. So see if you can take the month of July to catch what you're assuming and dissolve it away into love. And I'd like to give you the most beautiful mantra that came in to me the night before the session last June, which was only a couple of weeks ago. I think it was only even last week, which is like Star Trek, okay? Anybody who's a Star Trek fan would like this. Because I felt the angel come in. I felt the cosmic Christ energy come in. Now, I'm assuming that it's cosmic Christ. I'm assuming that they're angels, but it could have been a part of me. I don't know what it is. It could have been God. It could have been anything. It could have been an elemental who loves me. You know, and I just felt all this love, and I felt my heart to your heart, my love to your love. There's a Star Trek reference. So if it's even more powerful for you to go, my love to your love, my heart to your heart. But if you're looking for a way to become more compassionate to somebody who's struggling, or somebody that isn't struggling, somebody that you're close to, or somebody that you're not, you just come down to your heart and you go, deep breath. Always helps to have a breath. My heart to your heart. My love to your love. And that changes everything. That's an alchemy. That's an alchemy. So I want to know what you think. And a quick plug for the book that I wrote with Mark Atwood. It's free. If you go to the website link, which I'll post with this below, probably in the comments somewhere, you can get a copy of that book, and that teaches you how to get your power back. Because if you're going around the world with an open heart and you don't feel in your power, you're not going to be able to do that. If you're faced with your old patterns, the thoughts that you're thinking, and you want to transform them and you don't have your power, you're not going to be able to do that. So watch the video again. And if what I'm saying is overwhelming, what you need to ask yourself is, am I ready to do this, or do I need to get my power back? Do I need a power retrieval? Power retrieval. I call all of my energy back to me. I call my power back to me. And there's explicit instructions in Weapons of Mass Protection on how to change thought forms that you don't want anymore, how to become the master of your mind, how to call your power back, and how to use energetic protection so that you can be in the presence of those waves of people who are coming in and eviscerating their emotions, and not pick it up like a sponge, and not be thrown off course, and be able to open your heart and say, my heart to your heart. I see you and I understand. I don't agree with you. I don't have to like what you're doing, but we live together. So I hope this helps. And for me, that's my focus for July. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments, and let's talk more about this. And yeah, your turn now.